Multiplying a polynomial by a polynomial. To multiply a polynomial by another polynomial, you multiply each term of the first polynomial by each term of the second. You're basically using the distributive property multiple times, and then you're collecting and adding like terms together. So in this example, we first take this x from the x plus 4 binomial and we distribute it to both terms in the second set of equations. We would get x squared plus 2x, and then we take the plus 4 and we distribute it into the second set of parentheses to all terms. So we have plus 4x plus 8. Now if you notice, we have a 2x and a 4x. These are like terms that we can add together, so the final answer when simplified is x squared plus 6x plus 8. Now let's discuss what's called the FOIL method. It's a method used to multiply two binomials, specifically binomials, together. And what makes a binomial is when it has two terms only in it. So a plus b is a binomial. C plus d is a binomial because each one has two terms. So when this is the case, you're going to multiply your first terms together. That's part of the distribution of a into the second set of parentheses. Then you're going to do your outer terms, which is a times d. So again, it's just another mnemonic device way to remember the distribution process in this special case. Then you take the inner terms and multiply them together, b times c. And then you do your last terms in the set of parentheses and multiply them together. Add them up and combine any like terms if possible. And just again, a reminder, FOIL is just a mnemonic device that can help you remember the steps when you are multiplying two binomials. It only works with binomials. Here's a way to look at the multiplication process of the FOIL method with the area of a rectangle. So if we have a plus b, we can write them down along one side of a rectangle. And then we also have c plus d, that's going to be our length. And when we multiply to get each rectangle area, we have a times c, so that's how we get ac. We would have a times d for this rectangle. We would have b times c for this rectangle. And we would have b times d for this bottom rectangle. And again, you see we get all of these terms in this rectangle and we add them up, collect any like terms if possible, and that's how you would find the solution. So this is just an area model to help demonstrate how and why the FOIL method works when you multiply two binomials together. Let's practice multiplying these polynomials together. Let's begin with this first problem. Remember, we need to take the first term and distribute it to both terms in the next set of parentheses. So we have x times x, which is x squared. Then we have x times negative 3, so that'll be negative 3x. Then I'll do the second term distribution with a different color, and notice I'm including the subtraction sign or negative sign in front of the 4 as I'm doing the distribution. So we have negative 4 times x, so that we have negative 4x, and then we have negative 4 times negative 3, which is positive 12. And now you can see we have two like terms, so the simplified answer will be x squared minus 7x plus 12. Now let's look at the next problem. So again, we're going to take our first x term in the first set of parentheses and distribute it through to the second set of parentheses and use both terms there. So we have x times x, which is x squared, and then x times negative 8, so that's negative 8x. Then we have a plus 2, and we're distributing the plus 2 to both terms in the second set of parentheses. So we have plus 2x, and then positive 2 times negative 8 gives us negative 16, so we have minus 16 at the end. And then again, we can combine our like terms. So our final answer is going to be x squared. We have negative 8x plus 2x, so that's going to be negative 6x remaining, or minus 6x, and then minus 16. Here we see the solutions to these two practice problems that we completed, and they do match the solutions that we found when we worked them out.